If you're trying to get your music on third-party Spotify playlists, you should know how to spot if one is legitimate or not. So we're going to talk about that in today's video. Yo guys, what is going on? It's MMXVI, AK 2017. A little bit of a new setup, changed my room around. Today I'm going to be sharing some of the ways that I've learned to spot out fishy playlists. Hopefully it can help at least one of you from getting scammed, so let's get into it. Let's say someone's trying to sell you a spot on a playlist and you don't know if you can trust them or not. First thing you want to look out for is branding. Check out their Instagram, their Twitter, their Spotify profile, any other social media that they have. Do they have consistent branding throughout? Is their handle the same? Do they have the same name, same profile picture? Is their bio the same? Does it seem like it's been strategically written? How many followers do they have in comparison to their engagement? Do any of the comments seem spammy or unreasonable? If their account does seem legit, you're gonna want to ask them a couple of questions. A lot of these brands are just simply a middleman who sends your song to the individuals who own the playlist. So they may not be able to guarantee you which playlist you'll be accepted to, but they should be able to link you to the playlist, or at least the individuals who own the playlist that your song is being pitched to. It may be a lot of links and maybe it's slightly inconvenient for them, but you should ask. It's always good to be sure that you can actually check out these accounts and profiles beforehand so you don't get your money sucked from you just to get fake promo. If they dance around this or they just straight up deny your request for it, it's likely that they're not legit. There is a ton of scams out there, so just make sure you're trying to question as many things as possible before spending your money. Let's say you get lucky and they seem completely clear in all of those areas. Next thing you want to do is analyze the playlist themselves. When you look at the playlist, you want to see if the branding is consistent on them as well. Does the playlist have cover art? Is the name of the playlist something clean and clear? Sometimes the name of the playlist is just something wacky and weird because it attracts a very specific niche internet audience, but usually it's going to be something pretty clear and obvious and usually points towards some sort of purpose, like a workout or, Twitch copyright free playlist. You know what I'm saying? Does the playlist have a bio? Is there any contact information in the bio? Some people don't like to put contact information in the bio of their playlist because they don't want to be bombarded with messages. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is analyze the numbers. How many followers does the playlist have? Is there an absurd amount of followers, like 50,000 or more? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's fake if it has this amount of followers, but it does make it questionable because a lot of official Spotify playlists don't even have this amount of followers. How many songs are on the playlist? Usually a good curator will keep a limited number of songs on a playlist in order to maximize the results for the placements. If there's like over 200 songs on a playlist at any given time, it becomes a little bit fishy because even if they have real followers, not that many of the listeners are going to be listening to a 200 song session. Even if everybody that followed the playlist hit shuffle, it's very unlikely that your song would be played. So typically a lower number of placements on a playlist is better. Another way to check some of the numbers on a playlist is through a website called chartmetric.com. No, this is not sponsored, but I wanted to throw this in there because I think it's super duper cool. On Chartmetric, you can see the follower growth of any playlist. You can simply just paste the link in. If you see any huge spikes in followers, like it goes up 10,000 in a day, obviously it's just fake bots. If the follower growth is pretty steady, it's pretty safe to assume that it's been advertised consistently over time, as well as getting any other organic growth on it. Now, it does cost quite a bit to have the premium version of this tool, so I did not buy it, but you can create a free account, and it allows you to analyze up to 5 different playlists, artists, and you can check the follower growth on these accounts for the last 30 days. But of course, if you want to get any earlier stats to see long-term growth, you will have to upgrade to the premium version. The last thing that you're going to want to look at is the quality of the music on the playlist. Just simply sort the playlist by recently added and look at the songs that come up. If it's just a load of garbage music, they obviously don't curate the playlist very precisely. They probably just accept every submission and just throw it on there. Having a poorly curated playlist will drive listeners away, in turn running the playlist completely dry. So you don't want to pay money just to get accepted onto playlists that are really going to get you nothing. Now, let's say you already paid for a placement onto a playlist and you want to know if those results are legitimate. A couple things you're going to want to look at can be found in your Spotify for Artists profile. Under the stats of the song that got placed, check out how many streams it got from the playlist. Did it get more streams than the playlist has followers? If so, this could mean that your song is just on a view farm running on loop. If your song was on a playlist for a while though, say 2 or 3 months, it is possible that your song got more streams than the playlist had followers because obviously it was on there more time, and so the people that actually listened to it had more time to play it more than once. Under the playlist tab itself, where you can see all the playlists that your songs are on, you can check how many listeners from that playlist were on your song. If your song had about the same amount of listeners as it did streams, it's a pretty clear indicator that those streams were not real. So for example, if you had a playlist with 1,000 followers, you got 500 streams on your song over a 2-week period, which 2 weeks is pretty standard for a lot of these companies, that would seem totally real, totally normal. But if your listener count was like 450, 500 listeners, it's a little bit more questionable. Usually you'll only have around half the amount of listeners as you do streams, because usually people that actually listen to third-party Spotify playlists are likely to play it more than once. Whereas if your song was on a view farm, it's just playing on a bunch of different devices, therefore registering a different listener every time. But yeah, those are the tips that I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment down below any other video ideas that you have for me. On my last video, I had a ton of awesome comments from you guys telling me what places I should look at for promo. Some of you guys are skeptical about trying them out, so I'll dip my toe in the water for you. Anyways, appreciate you guys. It's been your boy MMXVI, and I'm out. Peace.